What is up, everybody? Coach Ken from Giving It a Try. We are finishing up week 5 of 2025, going into week 6. It's February 2nd. You know what that means? 8% of 2025 is gone. So, with your endurance goals, what have you done so far? What do you have in place coming up? What are some things you have to work on? Now would be a good time to just self assess and evaluate. We're 4 to 5 weeks off of past that, goal setting time that a lot of people have for the first week of January. Most people have their race calendars lined up for the year or goals that they're just looking to do, whether, maybe you're not looking for much performance goals this year, but it's just healthy, sustainable lifestyle goals with endurance sports. And that could be awesome too, and a good approach to have. Doesn't always have to be about getting faster or anything like that, but it could be just getting better at what you do and learning with the process along the way. A couple things over the last week or so, some classes and articles I've been reading, and I just like to take a lot of notes and then put that information out to everybody basically in drips and drabs, and maybe learn something along the way here. So thanks for tuning in. Uh, Fitness, what is that? Let's talk about how you gain fitness and why it's important to get your workouts and training done the proper way as far as intensity and volume and all the different things that encompass all that. Is this idea of supercompensation. And what does that mean is we have a baseline level of where we are at right now with endurance. Then every time we stress the body, we're not building the fitness in that stress, but every stress, the amount of stress, and you can equate that to many things account for that stress. Training Peaks uses a TSS score, and Garmin has a stress score for that activity. Anything we do data tracking wise kind of gives you a stress score, and that's usually based volume times intensity and comes up with a score and all that, things like that. But any amount of stress that we give our body off of baseline, there's an inevitable dip that has to be had with recovery. And we're going to talk about a few things with recovery in a few moments. And the amount of stress that we give the body is the amount that we have to recover. So think about this. This go hard or go home mentality of hitting everything really, really hard day in and day out is going to put, yes, a large amount of stress off of baseline, but inevitably to progress and have the body adapt to build off baseline and become a new baseline, because your fitness builds during recovery. Your body adapts during recovery to be able to handle that stress again. That's the idea of progressive overload and why things have to get difficult as we go along. And that's the same with like strength training. If you look at it that way, is the body will adapt to lifting a certain amount of weight. And then that's why we want to lift a little bit more if you'd like to get stronger. So what happens with that is the more and harder you stress it, the more and harder you need to recover. And if you're going to hit that hard dip for recovery, the harder the workout. And if you try and hit it again before your body has recovered back to what is baseline or the new baseline before the next activity, you begin this downward spiral of fatigue. So doing the right amount, and again, that's individual for everybody, is hitting it, getting a good recovery, in which we're going to talk about a few things in a second with that, returning back to baseline or a little better than baseline, and then it becomes this nice graph, and it keeps going up, and then it becomes this linear over time. It's not linear workout to workout, but a progression in a forward trajectory of gaining endurance and gaining fitness. If you just smash it and don't pay attention to these things or the idea of not letting the body return to baseline for the next stress, you're going to start that downward spiral and you actually could lose fitness. And then inevitably that could be the burnout, fatigue and things like that, or unfortunately injury. And what happens during that whole process, right, is the body gets dehydrated during a workout. Some muscle damage ensues, glycogen depletion. And then what happens after that big stress event is the body rehydrates, the body repairs, the body glycogen restorative back to your body. Your body starts to adapt to be able to store more glycogen for future workouts, so it doesn't get as depleted. And then the physiological changes happen after those things, where you get increased blood volume, you get a little bit of muscle growth or muscle strength because you stress these muscles, and then you're going to increase your glycogen stores. So it's this cycle. Think about that. Like after you hit a workout, the body has to adapt and make the physiological changes to gain the fitness. Think about that. Think about an understanding how it's actually done. It's not just workout after workout, miles after miles, and it's just going to go in a magical direction because you're doing the mileage. The body has to adapt. And some people's bodies some people can hit it every day and get a workout in 24 hours, 24 hours. Some people can work out at night after work, 5, 6 p.m. and get a workout in the morning at 12 hours later. Some people need a little longer, 24 hours to 36 hours. So when you're planning your week and when you're going to work out, some of those things really matter, and you need to pay attention to them. And that's why when you shoo off a workout in the morning sometimes and you say, I'll do it in the afternoon, but then the next workout creeps up right on you and your body didn't return to its baseline. It was still rehydrating, repairing, and putting the glycogen back, and then you stress it again. And that's not going to be well over time. When we talk about recovery here, few things that sparked interest in a recovery talk in one of the classes I took this week was these 2 different ways that we go about recovery, right? So we stress the body, and then there's 2 ways we could really start to try and do recovery to the body. The myth, I guess, or the way that we try and do it, because it's a marketing tool, and not saying that none of these things work to a little bit of a degree, but the process of recovery that a lot of us are used to right now is a process for recovery with something that's like similar to recovering, like disease recovery, or like when you're sick, is, giving it things. Like when you get sick, you get a prescription, you get medicine, you get drugs, you fight it with all these external things. And that could be the form of, using recovery boots and massage guns and all those other things. We're attacking our body to try and spark recovery. But really, the facts of the matter is the best way to recover the body is a natural automatic response that your body gives. Our bodies have been doing this for a very long time. They know how to recover. It's actually more so, I would say, the more important thing is to stress the body properly in the right amount, not overdoing it, so that the body can have a natural, automatic, quick recovery to get the next workout done. Again, that like external type focus on trying to recover the body typically comes because we stress the body too much, and now we're like scrambling to try and get our legs to feel better within the next day or two because we've got another hard workout coming up because you probably went too hard. But that natural automatic body process is what really needs to be done in between workouts to recover your body back to baseline so that you can perform again. It can be influenced slightly, yes, with some modalities and depending on the circumstances and the individual, but it goes into this big blocks or big rocks and small rocks type of situation with recovery. And if you think about it this way, it actually kind of makes sense. So when we're trying to recover the body from a workout, you have big rocks and you have small rocks. Big rocks are rest and relaxation. The body just needs to heal. It needs to rejuvenate itself naturally back to its state, its baseline plus that we're going to do for our next workout. Food, we have to fuel it. We need sleep. So rest, relaxation, food, and sleep. Outside of everything else, if you can focus on that between workouts and making sure you're getting the things you need in those big rock categories, that's going to pay the biggest dividend. And it's nothing really external that you have to do. It's actually not that hard to kind of work on those things. The small rocks, which is, again, just very small values inside your recovery, is massage, compression boots, supplements, TENS units, all these other things that we can encompass into that do have small value in recovery. But if you're not focusing on your rest, relaxation, food, and sleep between workouts as your primary source of recovery, you're probably going to start that downward trend again of really not getting the most value out of these workouts and recovering and continuing on. So if you're working out a bunch, you're hitting the workouts, but you don't see a lot of progress, it might be because you're not letting your body adapt properly to the stress that you're putting on it. Think about it in that context. It may change your mind on the way you think about training and endurance training and what really has to be done outside of the hours we work out or train per week that are going to make the difference. You can train all you want, but if your body doesn't recover and make the adaptations it needs, you're not going to perform better. And the last thing for tonight is just a quick tip. I was scrolling through tonight, and unfortunately I found a local runner that he went for a run today, and, over 10 miles. And I know nothing about the runner, but, this is just a good learning tip for everybody. And unfortunately, after his run, he finished and then felt very, very heavy. His legs cramped up, and next thing you know, boom, he's out. Really what it was is a little bit of dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, things like that. So that just reiterates the importance of wintertime fueling and hydration. It's tough. It's cold out. I get it. You just kind of think like, oh, I'm going for a run, hour and a half, 2 hours, long run, no big deal. It's cold. I really don't want to bring anything. Your body can actually dehydrate even more in the wintertime because your body's going through all these processes to try and warm muscles up, send blood flow here, have a higher heart rate when you start running. It's using all these energy systems, and you can deplete yourself pretty good. Just on top of the fact that naturally in the wintertime, it's hard to just get your fluid intake in because we're just not feeling the thirst because it's not warm out. I get it. I drag my bottle around like an ogre every day, wherever I'm going. When the kids have somewhere to go, I have somewhere to go, work, home, I have bottles everywhere. I'm just filling them up and just drinking from them. And with food, anytime I have food, it's, water, just take it in on every meal that you take and just focus on that. And not just outside of water, electrolytes. Once in a blue moon, during the day, if you want one during the day, 8 to 12 ounces of water, throw a scoop of electrolytes in there. Remember, especially if you're somebody who's training a decent amount during the week, you're going to need to take in a little bit more of certain things than other people. So get your fluids in, get your electrolytes in. Let this just be a reminder. We'd like to make sure everybody stays healthy out there. It is winter, but we still need to do that. We're still training, we're still putting the miles in, we're still putting the work in. So those are some reminders tonight of just the values and things to think about as far as training and stress on the body and recovery and things like that. So for now, everybody, I just want everybody to have a great week. I'll be heading out to Arizona on Friday, Black Canyon 50K. I'll try and maybe put a video up right before I leave. Be taking some video this weekend at the race. I'll get a video together after that. I'm really just hoping to enjoy the experience. It's going to be awesome. And everybody stay safe out there, stay healthy, keep balancing that life 1 mile at a time. I'll catch you on the next one.